In this episode of Stay Ready at Home, we examine another emergency radio hands-on. Today we take a closer look at the Sangean SDR-900 DAB+. A hands-on inspection. No opinions, no recommendations, just what's in the box and how it performs. This is the original packaging of the emergency radio. When we open the box, the first things we find are a carrying strap and a USB charging cable. Also inside the packaging is the user manual, printed in several languages. This radio is a bit more complex than some of the previous models we tested, so the user manual can be useful. It is a good idea to keep it for reference. And of course, the radio itself. We then take a closer visual inspection of the radio. This model is noticeably larger and more robust than the other radios we tested. It is also dust-proof and waterproof. The power input and USB output ports are protected with sealed covers. The radio also includes a line-in connection and a headphone jack. We then take a closer look at the controls and functions of the radio. Compared to the other emergency radios we tested, this model is less simple to operate. It has many buttons and several different functions, which can be configured through different menu options. The radio can be used as a Bluetooth speaker. It has a line-in function. The radio supports both DAB+ and FM reception. With DAB+, you can simply scroll through the available stations. With FM radio, you need to tune to the correct frequency or auto-scan. Once stations are found, they can be stored in the radio's memory for quick access. The telescopic antenna is relatively long, which helps with radio reception. FM reception is available in stereo when listening with headphones. The radio also includes a clock and alarm function. This radio includes 3 different lights. Wide white beam. The wide white beam can be used for inspection or basic repair work at close range. Narrow white beam. The narrow beam is more focused and helps illuminate the path a few meters ahead. Red signal light. The red light can be used for signaling or to make yourself more visible. Each of these lights offers 4 operating modes: a bright mode, a dim mode, an SOS Morse signal, and a flashing mode. The radio also has a dedicated SOS function. When activated, the white and red lights flash alternately, while an audible alarm sounds and gradually increases in volume. Next, we move to the electrical test. This focuses on the radio's USB power output and charging behavior. For this electrical test, the radio was fully charged. A USB meter and a constant dummy load were connected. At the USB output, the radio delivered approximately 6.3 watt-hours of usable energy. This equals about 1250 milliamp hours at 5 volts. For charging after a full discharge, the radio was connected to a stable power source through a USB meter. The radio has a 4-bar battery indicator, which shows the charging progress. Charging starts at approximately 5.1 volts and 1.1 amps, around 6.6 watts. Total charge time is around 2 hours, with just over 12 watt-hour measured. For this hand crank test, the battery was first fully discharged to later measure how much energy the hand cranking generates. During cranking, a charging indicator confirms that energy is being stored. The generator was then driven for 5 minutes, which required noticeable physical effort. Afterwards, the stored energy was measured using a dummy load, resulting in approximately 0.12 watt-hours. Based on the measured charging energy, a full charge would theoretically require several hours of continuous hand cranking. For the solar test, the radio was placed in direct winter sunlight for 1 hour. A radio from a previous test was placed next to it as a charging reference. When the radio receives enough light to charge, a charging indicator lights up. The solar charging in the sun resulted in roughly 0.01 watt-hours of stored energy. Under similar winter conditions and behind glass, a full charge would theoretically require several weeks of daily sun exposure. Let's recap the key observations from this inspection. Radio DAB+ and FM reception work reliably. Flashlight, all 3 lights work as expected. SOS, audible alarm and flashing light. USB output, 6.3 watt-hour usable energy. USB charging, 12 watt-hour required for a full charge. Hand crank, limited energy per session. Solar, very limited contribution. These tests show that this device is not meant for power delivery, but for information and light. Information matters in a crisis, and energy defines your limits. This radio does what it's designed to do. as long as you understand what it can and cannot provide. Stay informed, stay realistic, stay ready at home, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. The information provided in this video is for general preparedness and educational purposes only. Always adapt solutions to your own situation and local conditions.